quick little video because something caught my attention when I dropped the Yamato video 2 days ago. I was noticing how there were some folks talking about how, well, Yamato doesn't really fit the Stride mold in terms of how you normally, I'm saying quote normally, get a new Stride member. So, for example, Frankie, when he first joined the crew, or before he joined the crew I should say, he got along with the Straw Hats in terms of, like, he was a fighting companion. He was a comrade in arms in Enies lobby. And then the Straw Hats got used to him. He was around the Straw Hats and so on and so forth. Even though what he did with stealing the money for the Atom Wood and all kind of stuff, all these things on top of fighting against Luffy in Water 7, and then dealing with CP9, like Luffy and company, him on the train trying to save Robin, all these different things were the process by which Frankie became a Straw Hat. Similar to that would be Brook, where Brook, he immediately kind of joined the crew as like a joke, then went his own thing. Well, then during, of course, Thriller Bark, we see the process of him trying to get his shadow back. We see Zoro and Frankie play a role in that, and then we see Brook team up with the Strat crew before officially joining the Straw Hats. Yamato declaring to Kaido, and also to herself in a way, that she would join Luffy's crew, the Strat crew, and venture off with them. That is against the quote mold that Oda has established prior with other Strats joining the crew, which also goes along the Carrot join the crew agenda, where Carrot, she's actually been around with the Strats for an entire arc, or actually 2 arcs in this case, if you want to include Zoe, where she fought alongside them. Pedro killed himself for their sakes, and all these different things. And even in Wano Country, we see a lot of shots of Carrot with the Straw Hats as if she were one of the Straw Hats, like when Jinbei comes back. So when you compare Carrot to, let's say, the Brook and Frankie model in joining the crew, she kind of fits in very nicely because she's gone through that process of, I'm fine with you guys through thick and through thin, and I've done so for a period of time, and I've struggled with you and all these kind of things. Albeit she does lack a dream, but I think in the anime she does mention a dream of sorts. So I'm not gonna say it's a guarantee thing, but I know in the anime there's something there. However, I don't think it necessarily matters in the case of Yamato that, let's say, if the Strat crew never see Yamato until like the very end of the arc, and then Luffy's like, hey, here's Yamato, she's really cool, she joins the crew. I don't think it's a problem per se, because look at someone like Robin. Robin, she joined the crew at the very tail end of Alabasta. She was just on their ship. Monkey D. Luffy, you did something terrible to me. How could you? You must make amends for that. Luffy's like, okay, fine, sure, you're on the crew. And afterwards, there was some gag stuff, obviously. Sanji going crazy. Nami's like, oh my god, yes. Chopper and Luffy like, oh my god. Usopp and Zoro are like, no, we don't trust her. And then she wanted to swing Usopp very easily. And then the only guy left to not trust Robin was the edgelord Zoro. So Robin hops in just like that. In Alabasta, she was the villain, albeit she did save Luffy, of course. But the other Straw Hats didn't know that, as far as I recall. The other Straw Hats, they did their thing. Prior to Alabasta, we saw Igaram, how she blew up Igaram's ship when he was going to be a decoy. And back then, she was absolutely a villain, without question. So Robin was never really in sync with the crew, you can argue, until Skypiea. One of the best arcs, I'd argue, in the series to this day. And the arc where she really becomes in sync with the Straw Hat crew and she becomes a bona fide Straw Hat. Of course, the following arcs, that's tested massively, duh. But my point here is that the same way Robin was kind of thrown into the crew after the East Blue Saga is the same way Yamato could be at this point in time. Where Yamato, she joins on the crew. I don't see many folks objecting. Maybe Zoro will be edgelord, like, wait a minute, that's Kaido's daughter. I don't know, Luffy, I don't know. And then you're gonna have things where she's gonna do some cool stuff, and then Luffy and Chopper and Usopp and Sanji and Nami and Robin are gonna be like, yeah, Yamato's pretty cool. But something like that, I can imagine. And in the next arc, whatever the arc is going to be, then we see Yamato really get in sync with the rest of the Straw Hats. That I think is a very appropriate play. So I can understand maybe not the fear, the criticism of her joining without really getting to sync with the Straw Hats. But keep in mind that there is enough time for that. Yamato and Kaido can be fighting on the roof for a period of time. And then there could be moments, especially if the other Straw Hats go to the rooftop, there could definitely be moments, absolutely, where Yamato starts to meet the other crew members in full. Zoro, Sanji, Jinbei, Nami, Robin, and so on and so forth. And then we have those bonding moments. So these things can still happen. But even if they don't happen within this arc, they can easily happen in the next arc, like with Robin. So I don't think it's a problem at all, because Oda's done it before. But let me know your stance very quickly, quick little video, on the subject matter at hand. I'm going to see y'all later. Take care, stay safe, have a nice one.